Welcome back to the channel, man. First off, I want to say thank y'all for tuning in. This here is going to be a good one, I think. Switching it up a little different. Instead of bringing you with some tactics and some intense shooting gaming, I want to bring y'all along the journey of customizing my baby. Meet Ego. Now, I used to have some Raxiom old headlights, which had more like the light diffuser strips, which they tend to show up pretty bright, but in deep, bright sunlight, you don't really have that daytime running light pop that you naturally want. So I've always been in search for some lights, and specifically when I was doing my research, I had grown accustomed to the Morimoto and the Alpharex brands. Now they had those 3 lights up top, and the Morimoto had the 4 ice cube lights down below, stacked on top of each other. So I always wonder, man, how that will work with the bumper that I have, as you can see in the video, with the 2 ice cube kind of stacked right next to each other. So I always thought, man, the Morimoto wouldn't really go well with that, but the Alpharex would look dope. So naturally, I originally wanted that because the light output on the Alpharex looked like it was surpassing everything that the Morimoto lights wanted, until I kind of did a little bit more research and I was able to see that you have 2 different options. You have 2 different preferences. Excuse the noise. I got my daughter right here and she is having her hand in her mouth. Lonnie, for real, I'm trying to do a voiceover, mama. I love you. Yeah. Like I was saying, the Alpharex, it's like it depends on preference. The Alpharex had a lot more light output that you naturally saw more like 10-15 feet in front of your truck, whereas the Morimotos, you had more of a throw. And I think I'll link the video in the description. It was like Keep It Dirty Online, where they did like a really good comparison showing the light output in comparison to the Alpharex and Morimotos, where you had a lot of light output directly, like 10 to 15, maybe 20 feet for the Alpharex, and the Morimotos, they tend to have a lot more throw. So you tend to have a lot more light output further down the road. Now, what makes this interesting is that I had initially chosen the Alpharex, but I ain't trying to pay no $1,400 for no headlights, you know what I'm saying? So I had found this website, AmericanTrucks.com, which seems to be pretty dope, man. They tend to have a lot of open box items. And I looked up and seen the Raxiom headlights that were very similar to the Morimotos. The only thing I could see that was different was maybe like where the Morimotos might have the 2 lights shining for headlights. Now with these Raxioms, you have all 4, which I think is even more dope. Now personally, I got these as an open box for 1/3 of the cost, and I couldn't be happier. Now, I have seen some where they don't have the daytime running light harness, and I actually should have gotten that one, because in the video here, you're going to see I actually don't need the daytime running light harness, because I already had my Raptor grill light set up and ran through the fuse tap that I have going to the fuse box under the hood. So all I had to do to wire it up was to just tap right into the wiring that I already had set up, which wasn't a problem at all. for the old headlights. Now this was something that was new to me. Now you have to take off you'll see me taking off the bracket for the headlights because they don't come with the actual bracket for the truck. You tend to have to remove those from the factory headlights. So if you've never taken off any custom headlights or any headlights on your F-150, be prepared to take off the bottom bracket mount that mounts the headlights to the actual frame of the truck, or a piece of the frame of the truck. Or that's nothing. It's just 3 Phillips screws that are at the bottom of the lights, as you can see in the video. You just take those off and reposition them onto the new headlights, and then you're good to go.
Oh my goodness. That's sick. Yup. That's sick. Oh, they sick, man. I like it. That's sick. Yeah. Man, that is sick. Yep. Amber. Oh, that's sick. Yep. Woo, that's bright. Oh yeah, that's bright. I can't. Oh yeah, that's. Roaming on 7 days, drop it like it's hot. That's sick, man. Let's go.
The light output is pretty good. The high beams themselves are exactly what they say, like high beams. They don't really get brighter per se, they just turn on. So typically you have your headlights and all four are highlighted, all four cubes are producing light output. But when you shine your brights, the low beams remain the same amount of lumens, but the high beams are the ones that seems to get brighter. And the only thing that you notice more is just you actually able to see light output higher in the sky, whether it be like trees or signs or whatever it might be. But as far as the low beams, the light output here remains the same. As you can see, I'm fluctuating between the high beams and low beams, but you can't really tell. You can only tell slightly because you have to be behind the driver's seat to see exactly what I mean by the high beams just being higher. We definitely have what I like to call
much more of a throw of a light, like much more of a focused beam pattern as opposed to a lot of flood light output going to the side. So I really do like this style. Some styles you have a lot of light output right there at the front, so you're able to see a lot more within 10 to 15 feet in front of you, but I actually appreciate having more light projected further down the road so I can actually see a lot further. I can deal with not having as much light output to see on the sides of the street as opposed to having more visibility further down the road. That's more important for me because I can manipulate having light output on the sides because I have puddle lights and everything else, but I want to be able to see far. Overall, these headlights really are amazing, especially in comparison to what they're mimicking and the style. The light output is by far the best I've seen in an aftermarket headlight, but then again, I've only seen hundreds of headlights. I've only searched hundreds of H11 bulbs trying to find the perfect aftermarket LED bulb. So in comparison to all those, you can definitely see that these are. So in comparison to those, I can definitely say that these are much brighter than anything you could find outside of the Alpharex brands and possibly the Morimotos. But with the comparison videos that I've seen between Alpharex and Morimotos, the Alpharex are just the brightest headlights I've ever seen, by far. But the Morimotos by far have the farthest light output that I've seen. And these being comparable to those, I don't see any difference. That trash can's about 350 feet or so, maybe a little bit more. Let's see. This is the end of the street. You can clearly see the light output on the trash cans. You can see the visibility on the street lines. You might not be able to tell just how bright they are in comparison. Let me turn the lights off so you can actually see just how dark it is. Okay, so pitch black, no light output. Headlights on. I mean, I don't know what else you can ask for, man. Well, I do know what else you could ask for, but I'm not going to ask for it because I appreciate these. I love them. They're definitely an upgrade from what I had before, and they're so sexy. But you can see the difference in light output, just how much more hot the light bars put out in comparison to the regular headlights themselves. These are headlights that you definitely won't be disappointed whenever you put them on your truck. From the daytime running lights to the sleek style to having those side amber markers to the sequential headlights, or even having the option of just flashing. These headlights provide a significant sexy upgrade to anything you might have, especially if you're coming from straight factory. I appreciate you guys for coming along with me for my installation journey. And if you guys like this content, please definitely let me know in the comments, and definitely let me know if you have an installation process or practice that I could use that could help me in the process, maybe even go faster, because sometimes this does take a little long to install all these things, man. But thankfully, this installation was a breeze for the most part with the connections and everything. But that's all I have for you guys. I appreciate everything, man, and take care.